Hello, everyone. We're going to try this again. I tried to go live yesterday, and the day got away from me. Somebody showed up, and I had to take care of a few things, and so I did not get to go live yesterday. So we're going to try this again today. I have some really exciting things happening. A lot of things that have been happening behind the scenes. And I'm going to talk a little bit about some of them today. So if you're joining me, say hello. Please let me know where you're joining in from. I know that I have a lot of people. If you're here, you're family. So that's what I want to say first and foremost. If you are here and you are in my world, you are here for a reason. And I love you so much. So say hello. Drop your name. Drop where you're joining in from in the chat box. I'm going to be talking about some really big life updates. The first one being the fact that I'm freezing my eggs, which we're going to talk about in just a second. But you want to say hi. Look at this sweet little muffin. Lenny's joining us today too. We've just been snoozing and taking it easy in the office today. So let's just dive in. I know that the title of this, people are going to have a lot of questions. And if you've been following me for a while, you know that I had a little bit of an internal conflict a couple of months ago around whether or not I wanted to freeze my eggs. And about a year ago, I was living in Denver, Colorado. I was in a relationship that I thought was my forever relationship. And I had this aha moment about a year into that relationship where I realized that it was everything that I wanted on paper, but it wasn't necessarily what I wanted in my heart and what I wanted in my soul. And so about a year ago, my whole life shifted. And back in May, I moved back to Nashville. I ended that long-term relationship at the age of 36. And a lot of changes happened, like completely reorganized my business, let go of my entire team, like everything in my life shifted. And one of the hardest shifts for me when that happened was that I realized that I was 36 years old and I've always had this dream in my heart of being a mom and getting married and having a traditional relationship. And for the first time, and I really mean this, for the first time at 36, I started to feel like my window was closing. Up until that point, I never really felt like I was going to miss out on being a mom, or I was going to miss out on getting married, or having this dream that I really wanted for myself. And never did I ever feel like I was too old. But for whatever reason, that relationship ending felt really significant. And I think what did it was that because I have such a beautiful community here and you all care so much about me and you care about each other, I was getting a lot of DMs and I was getting a lot of text messages from people saying, you are 36, you really should think about freezing your eggs. And to be honest, at the time when it happened, it was too much. I couldn't even think about it. I was navigating heartbreak. I was navigating the end of this dream that I thought was going to be my forever person. I was navigating all of that, and it felt really big and it felt really overwhelming. And it felt like it was too much. And I was getting really pissed. Like I was actually getting mad that people were coming to me telling me how to freeze my eggs, when I should freeze my eggs, who I should go to. Like all of this information was being flooded to me. And I felt like I didn't want to have to actually come to terms with it. And the reason I'm telling you this part is because I know that there's probably a lot of you out there right now who may feel the same. Like maybe you were in a relationship that just ended and it feels, and you're older, you're in your 30s, and you don't even want to think about that. Because to me, it felt like if I freeze my eggs, I'm giving up on the dream of having my own kids and getting married now. That was the story that I had created. That if I go do this right now, that dream has died. And that was a really deep grief process for me, like a super deep grief process, because I had wanted that dream for so long. So all of that to say, I have been in a massive healing vortex over the past year, really working on grieving that dream. And I've come to a space of deep safety through working through my own somatic practices, working with my mentors, my coaches, my therapists. And I've come to this really beautiful space of peace in knowing that that's still a dream, and I still get to have that dream. And I also have other dreams that are at the surface right now that I want to follow, and I can still have kids. I can have kids when I'm 40. I can have kids when I'm 45. I can have kids when I'm 50. Just because I'm 36 doesn't mean that I can't have them. And this really beautiful thing has happened since I came to peace with that. I would say I was having a conversation with my best friend a couple of months ago, talking to her about this realization, because she was also the person that I was going to saying, like, this is too much. I don't want to think about freezing my eggs. And she kept saying to me, let's not orient to that right now. Let's just orient to the fact that you're healthy and you're safe and you have this dream. And maybe in the future, you'll have deeper clarity around it. And so I kept just letting myself be present in what I was feeling, and letting myself be present in the fact that it was overwhelming. And I kept orienting to, I am really supported. I'm a godmother. I'm an aunt. I have people that I can pour into. I have a lot of love. And I let myself be really present in that. And through that process of using the tools that I teach women every single day, I woke up one morning and I realized, I don't have to give up on this dream. Maybe freezing my eggs doesn't mean that I'm giving up on a dream. Maybe it means that I get to have more flexibility, and I actually get that dream that I've desired for so long, to have children with someone who wants to co-parent in a conscious way. I get to have that versus feeling like it needs to be rushed and it needs to happen now. And the more I started to orient to that, like, I still get to create this beautiful dream, because I don't want to just have kids. Like, I want to have children with someone who wants to do that with me and wants to build a beautiful life together and wants to parent them in a conscious way. And that's the dream. And so if I don't freeze my eggs, I'm saying, hey, I have a small window to try to rush that process. But what if I had the ability to freeze my eggs and still let that dream come to life, because I can be slow and I can be titrated in finding the right person that's really, truly, deeply ready to do that with me. And the more that I kept orienting to that, I'm like, that feels like my truth. That feels like the right thing. And you guys, here's what's really crazy. Here's what's wild. The more I started to lean into that, the more I started to come to a space of safety in that decision, and feeling like freezing my eggs actually gives me more time, and actually gives me deeper safety, and actually leads me closer to the dreams I desire. Once I was able to lean into that and made the decision for myself, I'm going to do this. Like, I'm going to freeze my eggs for me so that I can be fully present to this dream that I have. Not only did the perfect opportunity fall in my lap to be able to freeze my eggs, I also met a wonderful man who is very much in alignment with the dream that I have, right? And he has 2 beautiful children who I adore. And I feel like I just kind of fell into this situation where I now know that I want to nurture the relationship with him and find that deep sense of love with him. And freezing my eggs takes the rush and the urgency out of the timeline. Right? He does want more children. And we get to do that in the way that I wanted to do it, which is relationship first. When that foundation is strong and we decide we want to have children together, we can do it. And it doesn't have to be rushed, because my eggs will be frozen, and we can do it on the timeline that I want to do it, which is I want to fall in love with you. I want to build a beautiful foundation together. I want to get married. I want us to have that life. And then when the time's right, we can have a child, because I have frozen my eggs. So all of this to say, as I have come to this space of deep acceptance and love and peace and safety in my decision to freeze my eggs, and I have decided that I'm going to document the entire process. So I have teamed up with a company called IVF MD, They are part of the Prelude Network. I'm so excited about this partnership. And I am going to be showing you all every step of the way what it looks like to decide that you want to freeze your eggs. I'm going to be taking you into my doctor's appointments. I'm going to be interviewing the actual doctors. I'm going to have them on my podcast. I'm going to be documenting everything for anyone who has questions about what does it look like to freeze your eggs? What does it look like to freeze and fertilize your eggs? Are you a good candidate for it? Are you a good candidate for IVF? Like, what does this whole process look like when we get into our 30s and we get into our 40s? And how can you start to do these things now from a space of deep safety, not from a space of urgency, not from the space of you getting older, because society is changing. The way that we as women are approaching our lives, another reason that I want to freeze my eggs now, you all know this, I'm working on a massive book deal. Next year, my plan is to be touring with this book. I don't have time right now to have a baby. But freezing my eggs gives me the opportunity to fulfill this dream that I've had in my heart for a really long time. And to know that once that dream has come to fruition, this next dream that is also really important to me can also still be there. We as women in today's society, things are different. We're making waves. We're paving our own path. We're women of strength. And that doesn't mean that you can't have your dream of being a successful woman and also not hold the dream of being a mom and a wife. Like, you can have both of those things. And the more that I allow myself to really, truly surrender to where I am now and know that that is possible, and freezing eggs gives me that possibility in order for that to happen, the more that the universe is just unfolding exactly what it is that I desire in front of me. I truly, deeply believe that everything that collapsed last year, it collapsed because it wasn't actually in alignment with the dreams that I had in my heart. And if I would have not listened to that whisper, I probably wouldn't be freezing my eggs. I wouldn't be in a relationship where I feel like I'm met in a way that I've never been met in a partnership before. This is the first partnership where I can actually see, like, from my heart, a deep, real future with the type of family that I desire. And it's all coming from gaining this space of safety inside of myself. So all of that to say, I hope you guys are excited because I'm going to be documenting this entire process of what it looks like to freeze my eggs. Also, couple of updates on my front as far as offers are concerned. You guys, we only have 3 spots left for the retreat, which is bananas. So if you are interested in coming to a beautiful private island to receive, I'm going to be doing hands-on SE touch. So I'm going to be doing somatic work on the island. If you are a woman who resonates with anything that I just spoke about, and you're like, I know that I'm meant for more. I know that I have really big dreams. Lenny knows. And I need support in getting there. I need support from my nervous system, and I need support seeing the future and what that is for me and actually having that come to life. You belong at this retreat. You do. There are powerful women that are signed up, women who are ready to step into their next big mission, women who have had success, women who are ready to build their next stage of success. All of those types of women are going to be at this retreat. It's going to be extremely powerful. Brittany Turner, who owns the island, is going to be pouring into you all too at the retreat. All the food is locally sourced. It's all fresh. We're going to be doing different activities on the island. It is the most magical place. I have done retreats here before. It's the most magical place in the world. If you are interested in applying for it, you can drop the word aligned underneath this video and I will send you the application. Again, it is application only. So if you do not get accepted, do not fret. I have other programs that you can join that will get you prepared for this retreat. But this retreat truly is for the woman who is looking to fulfill her next big mission. Whether it's you want to be a mother, or you want to take your business to the next 7-figure mark, or you want to exit your career and step into building a nonprofit, whatever that mission is that's on your heart that you truly deeply want to fulfill, but you can't seem to see the path forward, you can't seem to get out of your own way, this is for you. So just know we only have a couple of those spots left. And once it's full, it's full. I'm keeping it to a very small group of women because it is a private island. I can't have hundreds of women there. So just a heads up on that. And then some of you have been asking me questions about my latest free masterclass, Rooted. Okay. Rooted is for anyone who is in the healing professional space. So if you are a healer, if you are a business coach, if you are a somatic coach, if you are a therapist, if you are a body worker, if you are a massage therapist, anyone who is in a healing profession, okay? Even if you are, let's say, you could even come if you're a CEO of a company, okay? Anybody that's in a healing profession who feels like they take on the weight of the people they serve, right? You have a lot of enmeshment. You have a lot of what we call merging with the people that you serve, okay? If you feel like I have a really hard time setting boundaries, I feel responsible for the people that I serve. I feel responsible for their success. I feel responsible for the way that they show up. If they have a bad day, I feel like I take it on myself. If you struggle with setting boundaries in the workplace, if you struggle with setting boundaries with the people that you serve, and if you do not know how to regulate your own system and or teach the people that you serve how to regulate their systems, this is going to be a fantastic masterclass for you to attend, because I'm going to be talking all about how to set boundaries. We're going to be speaking about the most effective leaders, the most effective coaches, the most effective therapists are the ones who can set really strong boundaries, because the most compassionate people are the most boundaried people. And I cannot tell you how vital this work is to who I am as a practitioner. When I first started in the healing space, I used to feel so responsible for my clients' success or lack thereof. I would feel like if they had a bad day, it would spiral me. And I wouldn't know how to pull them out of that. I wouldn't know how to hold space for that. And it was really detrimental to myself, but also to my clients, because there became this dependency on me as a practitioner and vice versa. And I became a fantastic practitioner when I learned how to have really strong boundaries and to practice, instead of merging with my client, feeling the way that they felt, not knowing how to regulate my own system and in turn help them regulate theirs. I started to join with them and what they were feeling, and there was no separation. So I'm going to be talking about how do you stay rooted as a practitioner so that your clients can have the greatest results that are available to them. How do you actually leave a session or leave a conversation with an employee or with someone that you serve and not feel depleted, not feel burned out, not feel like you need to go home and guzzle a bunch of wine? People always say to me, gosh, the work that you do must be so hard. Like, you speak to people about their trauma all day, every day. And truly, because of the tools I have, I get done with work and I feel energized, because I know how to hold space properly. I know how to regulate my own system. I know how to lead my clients into regulation of their own nervous system. And when you are in that dance and you're able to do that and not merge or join with a client, you should be leaving sessions energized versus depleted. So if you leave sessions or if you leave conversations with employees or even just people that you love and you feel completely depleted when you leave those conversations, come to Rooted. It's free. I'm going to be talking all about how to shift it. Okay. It's the 16th of December. I think it's 6:00 Central. It is free, you guys. It's free. So you can drop the word Rooted below and I will send you the link to sign up. Again, it's free. It's going to be in a private Facebook group. I'm going to be talking all about how to stay rooted and really what those practices look like when we're working inside of the nervous system. So a lot of things happening. The big things right now are Rooted and then also the Align retreat. Again, down to the last couple of spots with that. And then I want you guys to keep your eyes peeled. My very first consultation appointment with IVFMD is going to be on Monday. So I'm going to know my entire trajectory of hormones and appointments and when I'm going to do my actual egg extraction. That's all happening on Monday. You guys are I'm going to bring you along for the entire thing. You can ask questions. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. I know there's a lot of women in my community right now who have questions about freezing their eggs. So I love you all so much. I just wanted to hop on here and give a little bit of an update because I haven't done that in a while. So hopefully I will see some of you in the Rudin Masterclass. I know that I will see some of you at the Align Retreat. Right now, the collective is closed for enrollment. So some of you reached out about that. I'll let you guys know when that reopens. Right now, we're figuring out book launch for next year. And that's it. I love you guys so much. Say goodbye to Lenny. Look at him. Don't you guys wish you just had his life? The best. The cutest. Okay. Love you all so much. I'm sure I'll go live in a couple of days, but I'll talk to you guys soon.